Now, many fans have thought that Mephisto would indeed be the primary villain in the upcoming WandaVision spin-off, Coven of Chaos. But there's a new rumor making the rounds, and it fits so perfectly, I really do believe this one might be true. Let's take a couple minutes to talk about the real villain of Coven of Chaos, and how they tie deeply to her comic book past. Well, we've got some pretty interesting details today surrounding the WandaVision spin-off, Agatha Coven of Chaos. Now, we've been following the rumor train for this project for a while, but most of the official details are still completely shrouded in some magical mist. Now, these previous rumors have indicated that Mephisto will be part of this project, and he'll actually be played by Sacha Baron Cohen, as well as a huge cast of witch characters that many fans believe were set to serve as the primary antagonists. But now we've got a new report, and it seems like some of this might be misdirection, but there could be a lot more characters coming to life in this film than anybody was expecting. Now, this new report seems to indicate that the coven of witches that have been cast won't be Agatha's enemies and could be potential allies, and that there will be a totally new group of characters introduced as the primary antagonists. Now, all of this comes via Daniel Richtman over on his Patreon account. So, like we always say, it's not from Kevin Feige, not from Marvel Studios, and we want to take it with a grain of salt and keep it in the right perspective. But what he is saying is that the primary villain of the upcoming series will be the children of Nicholas Scratch, the Salem 7. Now, if you're unfamiliar with them from the comics, that's perfectly okay, because they are a really obscure group of characters that many people are not familiar with. Now, they made their first appearance in the comics in 1977 in Fantastic Four number 186. And they are indeed the children of Nicholas Scratch, making them Agatha's grandchildren. Now, it's still unclear how their powers will manifest in the show, but in the comics they're pretty terrifying because the Salem 7 have the ability to transform themselves into these animal-demon hybrids, all of which have rather unique and terrifying powers. According to Richtman, they will, and I quote, head for Westview to seek revenge against Agatha Harkness, which actually aligns pretty well with the comics, considering at one point she banished them and stole their powers. I suspect when Wanda took away her free will, that spell was broken, unleashing the Salem 7 and setting them on a course for revenge. Now, as far as the Salem 7 go, they're pretty interesting. The group consists of Vertigo, Bruticus, Gazelle, Hydron, Reptilla, Thorn, and Vacuum, and they definitely have ties to the darker places of the Marvel Universe. For me, when I look at this, I actually start to think that they are most likely tied to Mephisto, and they will likely serve as his agents, revealing the greater villain probably at the end of the show. Now, this does beg the question about all the other casting news that we've talked about in recent months, but I do think these people are still indeed playing a coven of witches that will probably stand with Agatha and seed a lot of new magical characters in the MCU. There are a lot of other interesting witches from the Marvel Universe, including Topaz, Jennifer Kale, Satana, and several more that Marvel could be bringing to life in this series, leading to a really great final magical battle between these two magical factions. Now, as for the show, we still don't know when we're going to see it. There are multiple reports that it will be coming our way in 2024, but as of right now, Marvel is keeping those release dates pretty close to the chest, and I think this show is mid-production, meaning it might be impacted by that writer strike, and we're going to have to sit back, be patient, and wait for more details before we finally know when we're going to get to see it. Let's hope that doesn't take very long.